Welcome back to NBC News Entertainment Division. A major casting renaissance unfolds at Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to NBC News Entertainment, where today we're diving into one of the most anticipated casting developments in daytime television history. The beloved long-running soap opera Days of Our Lives is experiencing a remarkable resurgence in veteran talent returning to the fictitious town of Salem. The triumphant return of Peter Port, a character's unexpected journey. Peter Port is making waves with his highly anticipated reprise of Dmitri von Leuschner, a character whose complexity and unpredictability have made him one of the show's most intriguing personalities. Port's professional relationship with Days of Our Lives spans multiple platforms within the NBC family, having first brought Dmitri to life during the 2021 special event series Days of Our Lives, Beyond Salem, a digital spin-off that introduced audiences to an expanded universe of Salem's most compelling residents. When the character officially transitioned to the main series in 2023, viewers were immediately drawn to his morally ambiguous nature and the romantic complications he created. The character of Dmitri von Leuschner is known for his aristocratic bearing, mysterious European background, and a pattern of leaving emotional wreckage in his wake. Throughout his tenure on the show, he became entangled in complicated romantic entanglements with both Gwen Williams and Leo Stark, characters whose own turbulent histories made for compelling television. Port's portrayal brought a sophisticated, calculated dimension to these relationships, always leaving viewers questioning whether Dmitri was genuinely capable of change or simply a master manipulator. After his departure approximately 2 years ago, his absence created narrative gaps that producers have been carefully considering how best to fill. His return this winter represents more than just a simple guest appearance. It's a strategic narrative decision timed precisely around one of Salem's most significant social events, the wedding of Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez. This ceremony promises to be a watershed moment for multiple character arcs, and Dmitri's presence at or around these nuptials introduces unpredictable elements to what might otherwise be a straightforward romantic milestone. In interviews about his time away from the show, Port has reflected thoughtfully on his character's evolution and expressed genuine enthusiasm about exploring new dimensions to Dmitri's personality and motivations. Wes Ramsey's dark return, villainy finds its way back to Salem. Wes Ramsey's return as Owen Kent represents an entirely different category of casting resurrection, comeback of a genuine antagonist whose previous actions created lasting consequences within the show's continuity. Owen Kent, as portrayed by Ramsey, served as a pivotal villain during the intense 2009 feud between two of Salem's most powerful dynasties, the DiMeras and the Kiriakizes. His storyline was marked by genuinely sinister acts, most notably the kidnapping of Stephanie Johnson, which he committed at the behest of the ruthless E.J. DiMera, effectively making Owen an instrument of a more powerful villain's will. The character's criminal activities didn't go unpunished by the law, as he was subsequently indicted and faced justice for his crimes. However, in classic soap opera fashion, Owen managed to escape from police custody while en route to his imprisonment, allowing him to disappear from Salem and the show's narrative for many years. This escape created an interesting narrative open and that writers and producers have carried forward in their conceptual planning for the show's future developments. Before his return to Days of Our Lives, Ramsey maintained an active television career, most notably taking on the role of Peter August in the long-running soap opera General Hospital. This work kept him in the daytime television ecosystem, maintaining his visibility and skills within the soap opera genre. His transition back to Salem marks an intriguing full-circle moment for an actor deeply embedded in daytime television culture. The circumstances of Owen's return and whether he's been apprehended, reformed, or operating under new motivations remain compelling questions that will unfold as his storyline develops. Alice Halsey's return as Rachel Black, a fractured family dynamic. Alice Halsey's reappearance as Rachel Black brings an essential character back to a critically important family dynamic that sits at the emotional core of the show's current narrative landscape. Rachel Black, as a character, exists at the intersection of two major character arcs. She is the biological daughter of Brady Williams, one of Salem's central figures, and her presence in town invariably creates complicated family situations with profound emotional consequences. Brady Williams, portrayed with nuanced vulnerability by veteran actor Eric Martsolf, has long struggled with various personal demons, professional challenges, and relationship complications that have defined his character's trajectory throughout the show. The addition of his troubled daughter Rachel into this equation creates a particularly poignant dramatic scenario of father attempting to reconnect with and provide support to a child whose own tumultuous life experiences have created distance and misunderstanding between them. As viewers tune in on Tuesday, December 2nd, they will witness Brady's earnest but complicated attempts to bridge this emotional chasm. The character of Rachel Black carries the weight of her own separate storyline, her personal struggles, her own relationship complications, and her psychological need for paternal connection and unconditional familial support. Halsey's portrayal brings authenticity and emotional depth to a character whose circumstances might easily become merely a plot device in less capable hands. The scenes between Halsey and Martsolf promise intimate character work that explores the vulnerability beneath Brady's typically controlled exterior and Rachel's defensive emotional barriers. Rachel Boyd and the Sophia Choi storyline, new perspectives and character dynamics. Rachel Boyd returns to the show in the role of Sophia Choi, appearing across Wednesday, December 3rd and Thursday, December 4th, with scenes that promise significant dramatic impact and character development. Sophia Choi exists within a web of relationships and backstory that makes her presence in town narratively significant and emotionally resonant with multiple other characters and storylines. Boyd's reappearance is particularly noteworthy because her scenes with Ellis Halsey's Rachel Black suggest a connection or storyline between these two characters that viewers will find compelling and unexpected. The exact nature of their relationship, where they are friends, rivals, confidants, or something more complicated, remains partially mysterious before their on-screen interactions unfold. What can be anticipated is that Boyd and Halsey working together brings to talented performers who understand the nuances of soap opera acting and emotional authenticity to their shared scenes. The character development opportunities embedded within Sophia Choi's return suggest that producers are thoughtfully expanding existing character arcs while simultaneously introducing new complications to established relationships. Boyd herself has developed a reputation within the daytime television community for bringing sophisticated emotional layers to her characters, avoiding the potential trap of one-dimensionality that can sometimes plague secondary characters in long-running series. Thao Pengless expands his canvas. Tony Dimmer is expanding family bonds. Thao Pengless, one of the show's most enduring and respected performers, is receiving expanded screen time as the complicated character of Tony DiMera. Tony DiMera, who exists within the intricate genealogy of Salem's most infamous family dynasty, is characterized by a unique combination of warmth, vulnerability, and underlying complexity that Pengless has masterfully developed across his extensive tenure on the show. The narrative focus of Pengless's expanded screen time centers on Tony's evolving emotional connection with his siblings Chad and Kristen DiMera, particularly given their circumstances as kidnapped individuals who have experienced captivity and the attendant psychological trauma such experiences inevitably create. Billy Flynn's portrayal of Chad DiMera and Stacey Hayduke's interpretation of Kristen DiMera complement Pengless's work, creating a triumvirate of strong performances that explore the complex bonds of family love, loyalty, and mutual support in the face of extraordinary adversity. The bonding scenes between these three characters promise to deliver substantive emotional content that moves beyond simple plot mechanics. Instead, they explore the psychological realities of family members confronting each other after traumatic separations and the process of rebuilding trust and connection. The DiMera family itself has long been characterized by moral ambiguity, internal conflicts, and the complicated legacy of their patriarch's various crimes and manipulations, making the genuine affection between these siblings feel earned and authentic rather than convenient. Jack and Jennifer's continued presence, the Devereaux Foundation, and Family Council. Matthew Ashford and Melissa Reeves continue their extended visit to Salem as the iconic couple Jack and Jennifer Devereaux, characters whose relationship has served as both a romantic anchor and a source of narrative stability throughout the show's extensive history. Their continued presence in town amid ongoing family tensions creates a stabilizing presence that allows for deeper exploration of family dynamics and emotional growth. Melissa Reeves's recent interactions with Annalyn McCord's character Kat demonstrate the show's commitment to weaving the Devereaux family's experiences into the broader narrative tapestry of Salem. The tense conversation that occurred on Friday, December 5th, between Jennifer and Kat suggests either a conflict in values, a misunderstanding, or a revelation that has created interpersonal friction requiring careful navigation and thoughtful resolution. Reeves brings her characteristic grace and emotional authenticity to such scenes, grounding them in genuine human conflict rather than melodrama for its own sake. Matthew Ashford's portrayal of Jack Devereaux similarly demonstrates his actor's commitment to nuanced character work. His scenes on Friday, December 5th, in which Jack offered advice and guidance to a loved one, underscore the character's evolution from his earlier incarnations toward a more reflective, mentoring role. His interactions with his on-screen nephew Thomas, portrayed by Kerry Christopher, represent the intergenerational transmission of wisdom, values, and emotional support that characterizes the strongest family dynamics within the show's universe. Jack Devereaux has historically served as a character through which viewers can explore questions of redemption, personal growth, and the possibility of genuine transformation. His continued presence in Salem, particularly in advisory and mentoring capacities, provides a grounding force for younger characters navigating their own complex moral and emotional situations. The broader significance, why these returns matter. The convergence of multiple veteran actors returning to Days of Our Lives simultaneously represents far more than coincidental scheduling or routine guest appearances. Instead, it reflects a deliberate production strategy to reinvigorate the show's narrative with the emotional weight and historical continuity that longtime viewers have invested in across decades of viewership. Each returning actor brings not only their character knowledge but also the accumulated understanding of soap opera storytelling conventions, character relationships, and the show's particular tone and sensibility. The intersection of these returning characters with the existing cast creates narrative possibilities that expand the potential storylines available to writers and producers, allowing for more complex, interconnected narratives that reward long-term viewership while remaining accessible to newer audiences. The strategic timing of these returns clustered within a single week in early December 2025 suggests coordinated narrative planning rather than random availability. This concentrated return of veteran talent creates a sense of event and importance that elevates the dramatic stakes for whatever developments emerge during this period.